We got a lot to cover here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Roschon Johnson, is he the new Bears RB1? Major injury updates. Keenan Allen, another player that we did not necessarily know was banged up. Updates there. And then Caleb Williams talks to the media. A lot to get into here on today's show. Let's start with the running back position as ESPN's Jeremy Fowler dropped a report that the Bears plan to give Roschon Johnson an extended look against the Rams this week. And I think this is the way to go. I think this is the right move. And we've talked about this over the last couple of days that you're just getting nothing out of your running game. And Roschon Johnson at least had a pulse in this past game against the Colts. I mean, it's a low bar, 8 carries for 30 yards, not even 4 yards per carry, but compared to what you're averaging as a team, I think the Bears' running backs this year are like 2.3 yards per carry. DeAndre Swift less than 2 yards per carry. At least Roschon Johnson showed the ability to get north and south, break some tackles. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. He protects pretty well. So I like this idea, and I think it is the way to go. And just to add some context into how poor DeAndre Swift has been, Lester Wiltfong tweeting, per Zebra Sports, DeAndre Swift has a league low, negative 83 rushing yards over expected. That is horrendous through 3 games. And just 17.1% of his runs have gone over expected, which is the 3rd lowest in the league. So, yes, the offensive line has been bad and has had issues creating constant running lanes, but there's no disputing DeAndre Swift has done a really poor job of seeing the hole and hitting it. And there's a little clip going around. This guy on TikTok made fun of a couple of runs Swift had. The first one wasn't as egregious, but the second one, he cuts one back, and instead of getting north and south after he cuts it back, takes this weird diagonal angle and tries to, run over a defensive end. It's like, dude, that's not where the lane is. Just open your eyes. So he's been disappointing to say the least, and it's why I've said this is what I would do. I would start Roschon. I would make Khalil Herbert my number 2, and DeAndre Swift, my seldom used number 3. If you want to use some in the passing game, I'm fine with that. But for now, especially if the offensive line is going to continue to be average at best, and that's being generous, I would go with guys who have a better chance of breaking tackles and playing with better vision. Now, I want to hear what you guys think. Who should start as the Bears RB1? Is it Roschon, type RJ? If it's Khalil Herbert, type KH. Or if you would stick with DeAndre Swift, type DS. I think for now you need to bench DeAndre Swift. It appears that's the case. Pin comment on today's show. If you get hit with that YouTube ad break right now, let us know who you think should be RB1. All right, Keenan Allen, let's talk a little injury news. Is he returning this week? Certainly looks to be trending that way as he was a limited participant today, still dealing with that heel injury. But the hope is that he can ramp up and be able to play against the Rams on Sunday. Matt Eberflus speaking with an optimistic tone in that regard. And this would be a big lift. I mean, you've got an offense that's struggling right now, so any help you can get would certainly be beneficial. And DeAndre Swift's ability to get open, find the soft spot in zones for easy completions, I think could be something that would really, really help this offense right now. DJ Moore spoke earlier today about Keenan potentially returning and said hopefully the offense is way better than it's been. You don't have 2 people, but 3 people you would have to worry about, talking about himself and Rome along with Keenan. And how about Cole Kmet too? Because Cole Kmet had his best game of the year with 97 yards on 10 catches this past Sunday. Rome Odunze broke out. DJ was productive. So you get Keenan in there, all of a sudden, from a passing game standpoint, you feel at least better about where things sit. Certainly from week 1 to week 3, you've made strides there with your rookie quarterback in terms of getting production out of the passing game. Now, obviously, it needs to be a little bit more consistent. Caleb needs to hit more throws. The protection's got to be better. Still some chemistry to build between Caleb and the receivers, but from a week-to-week standpoint, it's getting better, and it looks like Keenan Allen is set to come back. So those are all very, very positive signs. Show Keenan Allen some love. Type 13 down in the comment section below to show your support for Keenan Allen. Today's show is sponsored by Mando. I love Mando's products because I love smelling good, and they're very, very convenient. If you want to smell better for longer, Get started with Mando today. You've probably heard me talk about the Mando whole body deodorant at this point, and since I've been using it for several months, I can't recommend it enough to you. I personally like the Mando deodorant wipes the best out of all their products, as they are easy to use and dispose while on the move. Don't have time to run home after a round of golf? Well, these wipes have you covered, and you can wipe your entire body, as Mando is safe for the whole body, your pits, your package, your feet, and everywhere in between. Some of their products are clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. They'll stop odor before it starts, and you can choose different scents. 4 cologne quality scents available: Bourbon Leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. Don't be the smelly guy in your group when you don't have to be. Check out Mando's products today, including the starter pack, which comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and more. New customers get $5 off with code CHAT at shopmando.com. That is code CHAT, shopmando.com. Link in promo code in the description and comments of this video. Get started with the Mando starter pack today. Let's get to Darnell Wright now. Didn't realize Darnell Wright was banged up. He did not practice on Wednesday as he is dealing with a back end injury. Now, they seem hopeful-ish that he'll be able to play on Sunday. It also kind of seems like maybe this is something he's been dealing off and on with throughout training camp. He missed some practice then, and maybe that explains some of the lunging at times and inconsistent play that we've seen. I get a little weary when I hear back with an offensive lineman. It's Tevin Jenkins vibes. That's something he's battled throughout his career. Now, an interesting angle here is, okay, let's say he can't go. Who plays at right tackle? Well, Matt Eberflus did say Karan Amagaji is an option over at right tackle. Obviously, you'd have multiple options. You could go Amagaji. You could go Matt Pryor, then bring Nate Davis back into the lineup at right guard. Nate Davis is inevitable sarcasm meme. But I would like to see Amagaji play. If for some reason Darnell Wright can't go this week, I would give the rookie the first crack. Now, if he plays 2 drives and it's a disaster, sure, adjust from there. But they were confident enough in making him active last week. Like, if you're willing to make a player active, then you're willing to put him on the field because if a couple injuries pop up, you wouldn't have a choice. So if he has a good week of practice and Darnell Wright can't go for any reason, I'd give him a look at right tackle, and I would see what the young kid out of Yale can do. You look at the full injury report today. Zach Pickens dealing with a groin. Terrell Smith with a hip. Darrell Taylor was sent home with an illness, but he is expected to be just fine in that regard. Darnell Wright, I mentioned, with the back. Keenan Allen with the heel. Andrew Billings has got a knee issue. Kari Blasingame a knee. Nate Davis with that groin. Braxton Jones with a knee. Montez Sweat with an elbow. Just from a did not practice distinction, those first 4 players did not practice. Everybody else was limited. So keep an eye on those first 4 guys when it comes to Sunday, except for Darrell Taylor. He should be just fine. Subscribe to the channel. We have Bears updates every single day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, injury reports come out. We react to all of those and inform you. So hit that sub button, turn on the notifications. That way you never miss an episode here on Chicago Bears Now. All right, we'll get out of here on Caleb Williams' press conference. Kind of just wanted to touch on a couple of things he said earlier today. Thought he opened up, was a little more candid on some things regarding the offense, and he was asked about the state of the offense, and he said, it starts with me, being a better communicator with players and coaches, making sure we're running things that work well with us, myself included in that, making sure we're running plays that we all are comfortable with. Shane and I have talked about it, and we're more in-depth about it after this last game. Me being able to communicate with him is very important. And I'm sure you guys have seen the clip. There was one drive that ended that Caleb looked frustrated with Kerry Joseph, and all the lip-reading experts tried to figure out what he was trying to say. I think that just happens throughout the course of a game sometimes. But, you get the sense that maybe there's some frustration building, and of course there is. They're not playing well offensively, at least not consistently enough. Now, Caleb, which I agree with, said they're getting better each week. Passing game is certainly making strides. We'll see if a switch to Roschon Johnson can jumpstart the running game at least a little bit. And I think, look, there's going to be a lot of discord, a lot of opinions, but I think you got to be able to have these dialogues between your quarterback and coaching staff. Doesn't mean that, as a player you demand something. Doesn't mean as a coach you are the end-all, be-all and don't take any input from players. It has to be a collaborative relationship. And what did I say coming into this year? The Caleb-Shane partnership is going to be the most important thing for this season if it goes the way we want it to go. So we'll see where it goes from here. The passing game, like I said, is making big steps forward the last couple of weeks. Running game's got to improve, and obviously there's got to be more consistency overall. So we'll see where it goes. But big game coming up against the Rams. There's no doubt about it as the Bears sit at 1-2. Do you believe that the offense will keep getting better? Type B for believe or D for don't. It better, because if not, it's going to be trouble in Chicago. B for believe or D for don't. All right, guys, it's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. You can also follow me on Twitter, X, @HGrahamNFL. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.